out of the game for ASU.
So from the 16-yard line, Baker with lots of time. Pass is batted down, nearly intercepted. And so much for Baker's attempt at the Appalachian record for most consecutive completions. The record is 15. It looks like that record's going to stand for a while.
Braxton, I think number 84 is the man that's going to get a hand on it. Thomas also has his hands up. Here it is right there. And yes, it was Braxton, number 84, the junior out of Ashland, Virginia. And again, when you're 6'2", 260, or in Thomas's case 6'3", go in, look, and get those hands up, and that's what paid the dividends.
So Appalachian 3 and out to begin the third quarter. Now looking at 2nd down and 10. And there's the handoff to Damon Scott. And Scott carries the football out to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and a long 6.
Andre Thornton, the outside right corner that time, did a great job. Scott did a little juke move right at the line of scrimmage, cut outside, and Thornton made the move to the outside to make the stop. But that had earmarks of a lot of yardage for this young man, Scott, who himself has had a great time. Injured player down here for VMI.
Yeah, Cardell Winfield, the linebacker, the sophomore from Ettrick, Virginia, is down on the field and receiving attention. And boy, wouldn't it be unfortunate if he would get hurt in the last half of the last regular season game of the year. But on a much more positive note, Thomas Haskins doing it all. 21 carries, 163 yards. Look at that, nearly 8 yards every time he touches the football, and a touchdown to his credit already.
By the way, he had 277, the game you called last week in that overtime win over the Citadel. That was a school record, and I tell you, with 12 minutes to go in the third and the rest of this game still to come, 277 might very well be in his reach again today, the way he's running the football. Good look at Thornton. You see him working on, looked like the knee for sure. I'm sorry, not Thornton, the young man you mentioned there.
Winfield.
Winfield. Thornton, the man that making the defensive play a moment ago.
Well, Haskins now has moved into 2nd place all time on the 1AA rushing list, passing Kenny Gamble of Colgate. And so if he has another big second half, he could actually move into 1st place all time. The current record is held by Frank Hawkins from Nevada, 5,333 yards. Let's take a look at some college football scores as Winfield continues to receive some attention down on the sidelines. He is up now, by the way. Furman ends the regular season 8-3. The Purple Paladins gearing up for the playoffs following their 42-21 win over the Moccasins.
Look at that new Southern Conference team there, huh?
Yeah. Wofford. I guess officially that was a non-conference game, but next year the Terriers will be in the league. And there's one of the shockers of the day. Ohio State had hoped to end the regular season and head on to the Rose Bowl undefeated. They're going to Pasadena, but they lose to their arch rivals, Michigan.
Good to see the young man up for VMI and coming off the field there.
Appalachian State just 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions today. Baker will operate from the shotgun. Protection is good. Pass across the middle. That's Leatherwood again, and it is a 1st down up to the 34-yard line. Leatherwood had back-to-back receptions in a late 2nd quarter drive for Appalachian that ended the 1st half with a missed field goal attempt. He's looking good.
Boy, he is. This is a real surprise for them. He's a tight end listed at 6'2", 256, a sophomore out of Clyde, North Carolina. And again, catching everything in the hands, not letting anything get into his body, having any chance to bounce out. He's catching everything in the hands, and he's made 3 very good catches today.
Well, how do you like this formation? 4 wide receivers and a wing. No running backs for Baker. They fake the flanker screen and send it down to the field. A wide open Otis Smith. Smith with the cutback. Touchdown Appalachian. "65 yards, Baker to Smith for the score."
Dave, the biggest key on this whole play is the fact that Baker looked off the defense to the left where Burton was lined up. He was open, but Smith had broken free in the zone. And there you see the slip. Watch the last block needed here. It is down the field by Damon Scott, and Smith just looks back. Thank you. Hands in for 6 for ASU to take the lead back.
And so for Otis Smith, his second receiving touchdown of the year, and it couldn't have come at a better time for Appalachian as they regain the lead. Sutton tacks on the extra point. And we are seesawing back and forth here early in the third period. Appalachian goes back in front, 17-14. Time for some push-ups and time for a commercial. We'll leave Kid Brewer and return in just a moment.
Herman Mortgage, right? Don Cornelius, I've come to ask you a favor. Don Cornelius, can you teach me to dance?
What, like the funky chicken or the mashed potatoes?
Oh, man, like the hands on it. Free your mind, Herman.
And your feet will follow.
Take the oath.
This is my planet.
Herman, you sure you from Motown?
It's time. Time to feel young. Time to really get in shape. To build muscle. To get stronger and more flexible. It's time to lose fat permanently. To look better, feel better, and have more energy. It's time to turn back the clock by weightlifting with Soloflex. Now's the perfect time to call Soloflex for your free brochure and video.
Appalachian leads VMI 17-14 early in the third. A full moon tonight over Kid Brewer Stadium in Boone. And I don't know, but I think it may be affecting the right arm of Baker of the ASU Mountaineers. Now 14 of 15, 255 yards and a touchdown, a 65-yarder to Otis Smith just moments ago. Quinn with the kick. And another touchback. So VMI will have the football at their own 20-yard line. Kind of reminiscent, Sam, the way the scoring has taken place here in the third quarter to what happened in the first half. VMI had a touchdown, then Appalachian struck right back immediately. Here in the third quarter, Haskins with a 56-yard touchdown run. Then moments later, it's a 65-yard hookup. Baker to Otis Smith.
Well, it's big plays also. That's the interesting thing. And the fact that VMI ground out that opening touchdown. ASU came back with a long pass to Burton to set up the tying touchdown before taking the lead.
Thomas Haskins running hard. Carries the football out near the 22-yard line. Avery with the stop. Let's head down to the sidelines. Matt Swearad. Matt?
Dave, the injury update on Carnell Winfield, the linebacker for VMI. He sprained his left knee, and the question for the rest of the day is he's listed as doubtful. Probably will not return.
Matt, thanks. Good report. That is tough news for Cardell Winfield, the sophomore linebacker from Ettrick, Virginia. Second down and 8 for VMI. Once again, trailing 17-14. Haskins trying to get wide. Oh, and a good open field tackle by Ken Bird. And Bird, we mentioned it in the first half, since coming back after missing 3 games with a hamstring, has really added something to that Appalachian defense.
You made good of the word good, but I think it was exceptional. Watch this as Haskins just did that little juke move, and Bird didn't take any of it. Stayed right with it, went right after the belt buckle, and he takes him down. And indeed, there were a lot of green behind Haskins had Bird not made that tackle.
So Bird comes up with a big stop, and now Appalachian is facing a third down. They are 8 of 11 on third down situations today. Great shot at Al Lester, the junior quarterback of VMI, on this 3rd and 4. Ball resting at the 26-yard line. And the handoff to Haskins, and this time the black-shirted Mountaineers are waiting. Chuck Payne led the charge to bring down Haskins. Payne now with 13 tackles. Dexter Coakley also there. Hey, check that out.
Hey, all right. Get a little TV time there, huh? Yosef down there on the sideline. Yeah, that's you.
So now VMI will be forced to punt the football. Howie Loudon set to kick the ball away. Oh, that's a rocket.
My.
Burton pushed all the way back to the 28-yard line. This is a good one to return if he can get to the outside. Tripped up before he could really get rolling. Appalachian will take the football at the 37-yard line. Coming up for the Keydets to make the stop that time, Deshaun Johnson, junior from Virginia Beach.
That hit earmarks, as you pointed, of a big return there. One of those sure-handed tackles he just took the legs of Burton right out from under him. You know, Burton, the fact that he's returning punch, you and I both talked about, Adams was scheduled to do that. Burton was listed as a backup. After Burton caught the one big long pass, you may recall he returned a punt on the very next play. Yeah. Kind of saying, okay, he's in a roll. Let's try to get the ball to him with those good hands.
Yeah, Jerry Moore has Burton returning punts for the very first time this year. Baker on the rollout. Oh, he's got a man who has got all kinds of running room. It's Leatherwood, and Leatherwood takes it all the way down to the VMI 38-yard line. So Leatherwood with his 4th reception on the game, and it's a big play for Baker in Appalachian State.
Here again, you see Leatherwood just out in the open field. Perfect pass by Baker just over the shoulder. And Leatherwood gets some rumbling going up that sideline. Look how he catches that ball so well and kind of nurses it back into the hands, gets it on that outside shoulder, and it heads upfield. And in draws a crowd by VMI. But Leatherwood has now emerged as one of the top receivers for this game for ASU.
Leatherwood now 4 receptions, 76 yards on first down. Here comes Damon Scott breaking tackles, dragged down from behind as he reaches the 25-yard line. And that is a first down. It's a gain of 13. And Damon Scott nearly broke that one for 6.
That's going to be the longest run by Damon Scott from the line of scrimmage tonight. And again, it appears that ASU may be starting to win the line of scrimmage back here, Dave. We talked about how well VMI had done in the first half. However, there's a flag down. But again, ASU starting to block a little better, and Scott's being able to read those blocks a little more beneficial area here.
And this is going to be a tough one after that 13-yard gainer. A personal foul is pending against Appalachian.
Guy that's almost in total disbelief on the football field.
You can see Dave Patusik, very unhappy with the call.
Dead ball, personal foul against the offense. That's 15 yards, and it'll run. It'll be a first down.
We, by the way, I'm not sure the fans are hearing that. We got some youngsters playing on our crowd noise mics down below us here, but they're having a great day today, I think, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Here's another look. Let's see if we can pick up the late hit or what caused the personal foul. First down and 10 for Appalachian, but now ASU at the Keadet 40-yard line. Baker on the pump. Wants to go long, and he is sending the ball down long to Smith. Knocked away at the last moment defensively. That's Jabbar Bean making the play. No, check that. That's not Bean. That's Darius Jackson. Jackson with a big play, saved a touchdown.
Baker shows good strength in that arm because he aired this one out well and actually threw it just exactly where he needed to throw it, as that one, again, was caught off the hands of Smith, went off his helmet and came loose. But again, good coverage by Jabbar there.
So Jackson makes a touchdown-saving play, 2nd down and 10. Boy, Baker's having a great day throwing the ball. He is right on it today.
Got a perfect, I know he's got a nice release. The ball spiraling in there. Outside of one, he didn't put enough air under a few moments ago. He's thrown extremely well.
2nd down and 10 from the shotgun. The handoff to Scott. Scott trying to get wide. Knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line after a gain of 6 for VMI. That's Andre Thornton coming up from the secondary to make the stop. Also, Mike Rogers, the sophomore linebacker from Elkin, North Carolina, was in hot pursuit.
You know, ASU, I guess, saw that same stat we did of being out possession 19-11 in that first half of the game. They're simply trying to keep the ball as much as they can. They know what VMI can do when they get it in the Haskins hand. They got to just grind some time here.
It's a big play right now for that VMI defense. 3rd down and 3. Appalachian needs the Keadet 30-yard line to pick up the first down. Baker from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Gets the ball away, intended for Scott. Incomplete. Scott got his hands on the football. Then he got a shot from Damon Farabee. And it's 4th down, and the fans want the Apps to go for it.
The fans don't have a football contract they have to negotiate with the athletic director every year either. Here's a good hit, and again,
they are going for it.
Didn't matter if Scott caught that one out. Farabee said, if you catch it, that's as far as you're going to go. And again, you saw it skip right off, and they are indeed going to go for it.
Going for it on 4th down. 4th down and 3. Baker from the shotgun. Lets it go. Pass is caught. First down. That's Burton. Takes it to the 22-yard line. You know, momentarily, Sam Smith, it looked as if Baker wanted to maybe run the quarterback draw. Then he pulled up and found his top target on the day, Kevin Burton.
I think that might have been one of the options. You see him right here. And the one thing he was waiting for is that Smith had stopped and go on the sideline against Farabee. You see number 22. And it gave Burton a chance to curl underneath. He had to wait for that play to materialize. And Burton, along with Littlewood tonight, have had some great catches for ASU.
Burton now with over 100 yards of total offense, 5 catches for 95 yards receiving. First down and 10 from the VMI 22. This is Damon Scott. Flag comes down as Scott goes down at the 21-yard line. Cornell Lewis really came up from the secondary and put a shot on Scott as he tried to get outside.
You know, the longer this game goes, Dave, actually the more pumped up VMI is going to be. They're down by 3. But they're in the game with ASU. ASU came in as the favored team. ASU is going to get a hold on this play. But the longer they stay in the game, it's going to come down to the 3-point overtime win they had here 2 years ago. They lose by 2 at home last year. And ASU has got to do something to kind of shake VMI off their back right now.
Well, these are uncharacteristic mistakes by Appalachian that's going to cost them some yardage. This offensive line has really done a nice job. They're very strong, especially over on the left side where they have Chad Groover and Sean Clark.
Hold him. Hold it just a minute here, please. Hold him on the offense, 10 yards, spot the foul. Replay the down.
And the center, Scott Cadlub, is one of the best in the Southern Conference. Ironically, he missed a couple of games in the middle of the season because of injuries, but those were key games. Losses at East Tennessee State, then a home loss to Furman.
Well, he calls all of the offensive blocking signals along the line of scrimmage, and not to take anything away from his backups, but that's a key part. And he either calls red or blue, whatever the defensive scheme is, off the call, and he was not there, and it took some efficiency out of their offense, surely.
4 wide receivers for Baker. It's a direct snap to Damon Scott, and VMI has it well defensed. And it's Kelly Cook who stepped up and made the stop on Scott with a sure tackle, or Damon Scott's into the secondary for big yardage. Baker was in shotgun formation, and it was a direct snap to Scott, defensed well by the Keydets.
Well, that was a wrinkle that kind of showed up in your face you don't want to see. They were trying to wrinkle off the offense that time. Bill Stewart and his defense apparently saw something that they keyed on, and certainly Cook, who's had himself a good afternoon, wearing number 6 along that down line.
Smith and Burton are split out to the wide side on 2nd down and 16. Baker, good protection. Sends it out. The pass is caught. That's Otis Smith, and Smith has it at the 17-yard line. Not quite enough for a first down, but he got a big chunky yardage there. A pickup of 12 yards.
2 receivers in that same spot, and again, Baker elected to come underneath. Look how well he's looking off to the left. Looks off the receivers there and the defenders. Then comes back on the near side. Smith, when he turned underneath right now, thought he could get a little further upfield. He's short of the first down, but again, another upfield pass by Baker, who has been just short of being pretty good today. That's for sure.
He's looked great. 3rd down and 5. Ball resting at the 17. Appalachian now in the red zone. And once again, they'll operate from the shotgun. Baker handles the snap, no problem, sends it to the end zone for Burton. Incomplete. Flag is down. Interference is going to be called on VMI. And Darius Jackson pretty unhappy. And so is Bill Stewart, the coach of the Keydets.
Let's take a look at it now as Baker throws to the end zone. Burton again just makes a little cut right in the end zone right there, and you can see the left hand of the defender right on the back of Burton. Look how well the ball comes in here. It's to the outside, but again, Burton was going to have to stretch, and the hand on his back takes him down on the ball just off his fingernails for the interference.
Pass interference on the defense in the end zone. Ball will be taken to the 2. First down.
You know, that was a high pass into the end zone intended for Burton, but it was ruled a catchable ball.
Yes.
So this will be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line for Appalachian.
We made mention Bobby Fuller throwing for 330 yards back in 1988, and Baker, of course, with 298 against Marshall, and he's well on his way to another great game here today.
Appalachian already leading 17-14, knocking on the door again. Damon Scott looking for a place to get into the end zone, and he does it. Damon Scott with his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon.
Fans have something to get themselves warm about as Scott again scores his second touchdown, and he does it pretty much the way of Haskins. Watch as he comes. He's looking outside. Oops, nothing there. Oh, there it is. He cuts right back inside and does the rest of it his own right at about the 2-yard line. But that play was designed to cut outside. Good coverage on the corners by VMI.
Sutton is on to add the extra point. So after the Keydets grabbed the lead at 14-10, Appalachian has answered with 2 touchdowns. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. Sutton's missed only 1 extra point all season long. And Appalachian has its largest lead of the game at 24-14. 6:18 to go in the third.
Oh, they even got the mascot trying to do these push-ups now. Hey, what, he's doing pretty good after seeing himself on television. He's all pumped up, I think.
Yeah, it'd be tough to do those push-ups with that big costume on.
You know, and another thing, you'd hate to work for a club that scored 60, 70 points a game. I mean, you'd die out there, wouldn't you?
You know, we really haven't gotten into it too much today, Sam, but this series in recent years has really heated up. Back in 1994, VMI came in here with an 0-10 record. They won 26-23 in overtime, and that gave the Southern Conference Championship to Marshall that season. Here's another look at the score by Scott.
Well, you can see how he's looking to the outside and makes that quick step and then hammers his way in from about the 2-yard line. But again, Damon Scott, he, of course, along with Chip Hooks and John Settle, of course, the all-time leading rusher in the history of this school. They just continue to be coming up with some outstanding backs. But now, Jerry Moore, of course, has to come up with another one to replace still another fine back in Damon Scott.
And then last year in this series in Lexington, Appalachian was able to hold off a furious second-half rally by VMI to win the game 26-24. VMI went for a 2-point conversion with 90 seconds to go. It was unsuccessful, and the Apps got out of the Old Dominion with a victory. So this has been a very competitive series in recent years, and we're having a good one today. And Gwynn has got the good foot into that one again, so VMI will have the ball at the 20-yard line, and Gwynn's kickoffs have really been a weapon today.
They have not been able to run any of the kickoffs back at all. I mean, 0, nada, nothing, which means they get it out at the 20, certainly. But again, Gwynn is not giving any opportunity to break any kind of kicks upfield today on the kickoffs anyway. I thought he was a key, certainly keeping ASU in the Marshall game, and the way he kicks the ball as far as a punter and, of course, kicks off. He's certainly been a very valuable weapon for ASU again this year.
So 1st and 10 for VMI at their own 20-yard line, now trailing by 10 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Play action for Lester on 1st down. Sends it out. Pass is caught. Ed Pearson makes a tough catch at the 26-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain.
The only time a receiver has to stretch that much, Dave, to catch it, it's kind of like, oh, come on, ribcage protectors, protect me now. Look how well he runs this route. He comes down, runs a little curl on the inside. That play action fake freezes the outside linebackers. Then he throws it, but there's that high pass again sailing on him. Pearson's up, takes the shot, but hangs on. Cradles it very nicely. Good catch by Pearson. He's made some good ones today.
And the handoff goes to White up the middle, and there is just no running room. Appalachian State really getting strong defensively, and all the familiar faces are there on the bottom of the pile. Coakley, DiBernardo, also in there for Appalachian. John Fanning, the sophomore from Virginia Beach. Don't forget about the NCAA 1AA selection show live tomorrow afternoon from Huntington, West Virginia. Gee, I hope I can make it home.
Well, you better get there, I tell you. You'll be there at 1 o'clock.
Counting on it. Looking forward to it. Lester on the fake. On the carry, give him forward progress of a yard at best.
You know, it's interesting, Dave. You see Bird, who came up and did a great deal of the job along with Coakley. I was just about to make the comment again. DiBernardo, along with, of course, Coakley and Hodge, all three of the linebackers You haven't called their name much today.
No,
all of a
really
sudden,
haven't.
Coakley comes up the last play, comes up again. Linebackers now have figured out the blocking scheme, and now they're able to start making that first line defensive play here for ASU.
Coakley was in on plenty of assists in that first half.
Look at the arm.
Look at that. Look at this. VMI's going for it. 4th and a yard at their own 29-yard line. The handoff. Haskins has it.
Well, a spot's
Wow.
out to the 31. If that's a friendly spot, that's enough. What a gutty play there by Bill Stewart and his Keydets there. Wow.
What a call. Appalachian had the punt return team on the field, and they had to make some late defensive adjustments. VMI converts on 4th and less than a yard at their own 29.
There's Haskins again. He reaches it and runs right into DiBernardo, but again, he had already crossed the plane at the 30-yard line. That's how much he had to get.
So VMI controlling the football now. Clock running. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the third. Keydets down 24-14. Handoff. Haskins twisting his way up to the 34. That's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Talk about Baker just a moment ago. He's over 300 yards passing today. This is a very odd stat. The last time that Appalachian State has thrown for more than 200 yards in a game, they've lost their last 3 times. That's a weird stat, but what it tells you is Appalachian State isn't playing app football unless they're running. They want to run.
Well, those 2 losses to East Tennessee State and to Marshall, both over 200. And in Jerry Moore's years of going over 200 yards, they haven't won but about 3 games by throwing over 200 yards. So that's not a big stat for them. They got to run the football.
Joe DiBernardo is able to bring Thomas Haskins, the senior running back, down just shy of the 40-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. And you can see the time remaining in the third corner in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. It's been a very quickly played game.
First half went extremely quickly. Both these teams kind of, well, a few more punts in this third period.
And that first half, VMI held practically a 2-to-1 edge in the time of possession, and most of that was ground running. Here's the handoff to Haskins again. And I don't think he's got it. He needed to get to the 41-yard line, and I think he's going to be brought down shy, and it's going to be 4th and less than a yard again. And it looks like VMI is going to keep that offense on the field. He is short.
And it's about the same distance they had to get a moment ago. As you take a good look, Carson, number 85, was the first man to reach him. And Fenderson, that's the safety, coming all the way up in the line of scrimmage. Because now they've thrown away the option of throwing the ball by VMI. They know they're going to keep it on the ground. Let's see what they do here. Is it number 10 again?
This time, Lester will keep it, and Lester has the first down.
That's just one of those rugby scrums there. Just kind of see if your big guys can take their big guys upfield, and they do.
Update on Haskins now, 28 carries, 178 yards. If you joined us late, he's the reigning Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week after rushing last week for 4 touchdowns, 38 carries, and 277 yards in a 2-overtime win, 34-27 over the Citadel.
Well, after another 4th down play by VMI, Bill Stewart, you kind of wonder how many times that lucky charm in his pocket can work on this drive.
Haskins, the lone setback on first down. Lester on the play action, moves the pocket, throws across the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. He had the tight end at the 47-yard line, just could not hold it.
You know, one of the things about the VMI offense, and this is no, of course, criticism of Bill Stewart, he just doesn't have the personnel right now. They just don't have a lot of passing weapons. In fact, they don't have a lot of people. They put, of course, the Harris, the tight end, along with Eller and Pearson. Those are 3. Now, that should be enough, but sometimes you're looking at it when you can flood the field and get your 3rd or 4th man and even throw to a Haskins out of the backfield, what they have not done a great deal of here tonight.
Well, they were really hurt when their leading receiver, Marcus Griffin, withdrew from school on September 23, and then Matt Walton from Richmond, Virginia, was injured when he blew out his knee early in the year. So you've got Ellen at one wide receiver spot, who's a converted quarterback, and Ed Pearson, who's a walk-on for football there at VMI on a baseball scholarship on the other side. Those 2 guys really have played well today.
They have indeed. Pearson's made some great catches. Eller early on made some catches for Bill Stewart. Jerry Moore kind of bundling up against the weather that certainly turned colder here, but his team has done what they wanted to do, and that's control the football after getting out-controlled 19-11 in that first half in minutes.
3rd down and 8 for VMI. The ball resting at the Kedat 43-yard line. This is a drive in which VMI has already converted 2 4th downs. Lester on 3rd down over the middle. There's the aforementioned Allen, and he gets away to the 35-yard line, and he is going to be ruled down. That is not a fumble. It's going to be a 1st down for VMI. So VMI, one of the keys today for the Kedat, Sam Smith, has been their ability to pick up 3rd downs. They've really done well on 3rd down conversions today.
How about their 4th down? They did a couple of those back-to-back as well. Look as Lester has the time. Offensive line.